might think we've seen this one before. Why would Jesus do the same miracle twice? Why would Mark record it twice? Well, the reasons are that it tests the disciples to see if they've really understood the first time around. It gives an opportunity for things to be reinforced, and it also gives an opportunity for further explanation. Now, as Christians, we often hear the same kinds of messages over and over again, and the same applies there. It tests us to see if we've learnt it, and it gives us opportunity for reinforcing and for further explanation. So with a slightly smaller crowd that have gathered to see him, Jesus recognizes their hunger and has compassion upon them. He asks his disciples if they will feed the crowd, but his disciples only see the problems of feeding a crowd in such a remote place. They have forgotten that Jesus is perfectly capable of doing this. And so they muster together 7 loaves of bread and a few fish, and Jesus gives thanks for it, divides it up, shares it amongst the people, and everyone is perfectly well fed. And there's so much that is given out that there are 7 basketfuls of bread left over at the end. Later on, a religious group called the Pharisees, they come up to him and ask him to perform a sign, a miracle. And Jesus flat out refuses. And then later on, when he's with his own followers in a boat, he warns them about what he calls the yeast of the Pharisees. That is the spreading unbelief in spite of the very obvious and clear evidence about who he is because of the miracles he has done. But the disciples are confused. They think he's telling them off for not bringing bread with them. So Jesus offers further explanation. Out of his compassion for a large crowd, he has fed them to the extent that there has been so much left over, and that in a remote place. And he's done that twice. Who else could do this impossible thing? Well, only God could do it, is the answer. But Jesus then simply asks them, have they got it yet? And for each one of us, we have got to answer that for ourselves. Have we got who Jesus is? Next time we'll see the answer that the disciples have got, and they actually are beginning to get it right.